Do you listen with your eyes or your motherfucking ears, or is it the other way around? Stay tuned. What's happening, Gooligans? Cheers, man. Got a different one here for you. It's been a minute, but here's a product of Ireland. Here's an Irish beer, Smithwick's and Sons Ireland Irish made red ale, a ruby red brew with a gentle hop bitterness, sweet malty notes and malty notes. Man, when they say multi notes, when they say notes, I feel like someone's taking fucking notes. There's like actual notes of what this thing's tasting like. I don't know. Just weird terminologies they always have for shit. And a refreshingly balanced taste. All right, 4.5% alcohol. All right, that's not too bad. It's like what's in PBR. Imported by Diego Beer Company USA, brewed in Ireland by Guinness and Company St. James Gate, Dublin, Ireland. All right, man, Guinness, brewed by Guinness. So I love Guinness. It's one of my favorite beers ever. So yeah, it's from Ireland. So serving size, 100. Let's see what 128 calories, 8 carbs. Fucking hey, let's give it a shot, man. Fucking got my old Guinness mug here, speaking of. So, hope everyone's had a good week. I've been fucking busy. That's why I've been, haven't done one of these in a while. I'm a working class man with, working class problems like most of us. Just fucking during during the week, I'm working, taking care of shit around my house, fixing shit, whatever the fuck, working on music, and then a lot of times on the weekends, I got a lot of family shit going on. I don't have to always have time to do this, especially like now I'm in the process of recording a demo. I mean it's a process. I'm a fucking perfectionist. Can't fucking help it. I want the shit to be as good as it can possibly be. And I only have a few hours a day to work on this shit, so it's not like when I was younger, I could have fucking knocked this shit out quick. But fucking get older, you get more fucking responsibilities and shit. It's just life. But cheers. Oh, man, not bad. I've never. I don't think I've ever had this before, so that's it's pretty fucking smooth actually. It looks dark, but you could easily slam this fucking beer. It goes down like water. I mean, it's good. I feel like I would actually compare this to Yingling, man. The Yingling Amber Lager. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that a little bit. I mean, it's way fucking better, I think, because this definitely doesn't have any fucking corn. Can give beer an interesting flavor. I mean, I like American brews. I'm not gonna knock them. They are what they are. I'm proud of them, but I like this imported shit. It's good. So cheers, man. Fucking great. Yeah. If you're new to the channel, you haven't been here, as usual, grab your fucking favorite drink, whatever that is, man. So mine's beer. So pop a squat, fucking hang out for a bit. So I'm just gonna bullshit here for a little bit. The title, listen. Did we listen with our eyes, our ears, whatever the fuck I was saying? Well, it's something I was thinking about the other day, like looking back on things when I was younger, and things I remember that were really cool that I miss. So like we used to have listening parties and hang out, with my friends and shit, and listen to albums. And one thing is, we'd lend each other albums. Sometimes they'd be burned. Sometimes you just see the band name on them. And I was looking back on the first time I heard Macabre. A friend of mine just gave me this was in high school, just gave me a burned CD with, it was like a compilation of different bands on there, and Macabre was one of them. But where I'm going with this is, all I had was a handwritten name that said Macabre on it, right? So I don't have any internet. I don't have my only information about bands were like what I could find in a magazine, and any like metal underground mag had handy. That was only my only source for info. And then of course the few people I talked to at school, my group of friends. So I didn't have internet. I didn't have any of that shit. So when you heard a new band, it was from like your friend or something, or if you found something in a magazine, you had to order it, or you stumble across something at a record store. So very limited. But where now, of course, everybody fucking knows now. You could find music all the time, which is it's cool. It's you lose the majesticity of it, but eh, it goes hand in hand. Sometimes though, then again, you can find stumble across shit on the internet you never heard before. I don't know, nobody else. It's excite. It can be exciting still. It was a little different back then. Anyways, whatever the fuck. Uh, so I'd have a CD with just a bunch of bands on it, or just a band name. You didn't even have a fucking logo, so you didn't even have a picture. There's no imagery to like suck you in. You just literally had like the white noise in the background. Like you just had what this band represented, what you heard with your ears, literally heard with your fucking ears. And I remember when I heard Macabre, I didn't really like it. I'll be honest, because I wasn't. It was something I wasn't used to. Um, and I think it was the Dahmer. Some of the tracks off the Dahmer album, Dog Guts. You know, that's one I can remember specifically. But oh wait, yeah, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, like that. Some of the those tracks, but yeah, some of the main tracks off Dahmer. But anyways, so what I pictured in my head were like these younger guys, like in my head, because they had just a wild, wacky sound I never heard before for death metal, and I just like to imagine this young band. That's how I picture them, like I mean a little older than me because I was a teenager, but I figured they were in their like early 20s. Um, so that same year, I think this was in '04, I think. We used to take the South Shore train and we'd go up to Chicago. And House of Blues, now even back then, I know it's the House of Blues, whatever. They used to have a lot of good fucking metal shows, back then. And so we the House of Blues is only like 2 blocks from the train station. So we get on the train from here in the region. It would be like 40-minute ride on the train, and there'd be like fucking 20 of us. It was cool because you all knew who was going to the fucking metal show because like everybody you'd see it, you couldn't unsee it because who the fuck you got the fucking attire on, the fucking the leather, the fucking denim, the metal shirts, so you knew who the fuck was going. And we all get off the train and light up cigarettes and walk to walk the 2 blocks to the House of Blues or where the fuck. um it was fun times. But anyways, Macabre, Cannibal Corpse, Cataclysm. Oh, who else was playing at that fucking gig? There was like a lot of bands on the bill. Oh, Napalm Death. That was a really good show. Like back then, like first time I saw Napalm Death, fucking one of, at least at that time, or one of the greatest, most energetic live acts. Now I don't agree. I don't agree with a lot of the shit that are like what they've brought to the table in recent years, but like man, they for extreme music, they really did a lot. They blew me away with their, how crazy they were. Of course, Cannibal Corpse was fucking amazing too. But anyways, I never seen Macabre before, so I only heard them on the CD, and I painted like kind of a picture in my own head of what it was. So, but musically, of course, like I said, I didn't really care much for them. But so they were the opening band that night, and the curtains are closed. Charlie and Chocolate Factory starts playing on the fucking PA system through the monitors and shit. It's loud as fuck, and I thought it was goofy as hell. But the curtains fucking open, man, and they started, yeah, fucking Dog Guts, and the crowd just fucking went into a huge fucking frenzy, man. And their sound was really powerful, but I was blown away by their appearance because I was like thinking these younger guys. Now these guys are like in their late 30s at the time, and fucking the singer's got a mullet, he's dressed, he's dressed like how he is, and everybody knows, like, they're in character for him. I wasn't aware of their music or what they really were about. The whole serial killer thing. I mean, I knew, okay, songs about Dahmer. I didn't get it, but after seeing them, I was like, whoa, this is not what I was expecting. It blew me the fuck away. I was just, I've been a fan ever since. After seeing them live, I actually got what they were about. They're one of the most unique and original death metal bands, and one of the old originators too, because they've been around. They never get any credit, but like '86, man, fucking, and some of their shit was. I know it's like, you got the punk and speed metal, but goddamn, like they were playing at speeds like Nile speed level, back in the fucking '80s. They still don't really get like. I know they get credit now, but they still don't. They don't get credited like Cannibal Corpse and Nile and bands like that, and I think they should. Hey, fucking Chicago don't, anyways, man, and they're like a household fucking Chicago band. But, anyways, that's one example. I miss being able to hear something and not see anything about it. I don't know. You can't really experience that now. And if you are, you're trying, and that's still not the same fucking thing, man. Another thing, like another great example I remember would be we go fucking cruising, smoking weed or drinking or whatever the fuck, booze cruising or whatever. So my buddy Austin, when we were kids, he was the only one with a vehicle. We had a little fucking van, we fit all our delinquent asses in it. And I never knew what the hell he'd be playing. So I remember the first time I heard Gorefest, old Gorefest, of course. You fucking stoned out of my mind, and I hear this band blasting through his speakers as we're cruising around. Like I said, no fucking logo, no image, no nothing. You just hear the name. I'm like, what's this? It's like, this is Gorefest, and you just hear it, and you're like, wow. Just like, now it's like you see everything before you even fucking hear it, and it can really, I don't know, sometimes when you see something first, it changes your perspective, or, we listen with our eyes a lot of times and not our fucking ears. And sometimes it could be, like I said, is it the other way around, But just something interesting, something to think about. Another thing, too, is any of you ever listen to an album blasting, like on repeat? Of course, this is people with CDs, or fall asleep to an album. It's still fucking playing when you wake up. Now, if you ever do that, it will change. And then you take a break. You take a break for a day. And then you go back to listen to it the next day. It will sound completely different. I don't really know how to explain it. I haven't done it in years because, I'm a family man. I can't blast shit 24/7 like I used to. Those days, one of my single days and fucking early Cryptic Fog days, my bandmate lived, literally, like, we had a duplex. My bandmate was next door. But the vocalist Nate, he lived next door. We lived under these. We had two garages underneath. We practiced, and so it didn't fucking matter. I get trashed all night, fucking blast an album, loud as fuck on my giant stereo. I'll wake up to it still fucking playing. I didn't have to worry about the cops because my fucking, my neighbor's my goddamn fucking, bandmate. So it was great. But if you ever experience that, or on headphones, actually you could probably do it with headphones, man. Something to try sometime. It'll really trip you out. Listen to a fucking album on repeat all night, and it's still playing when you wake up. Try that sometime. It'll fucking blow your mind. And then wait about a day, and then listen to it again, or 8 hours or something like that. It's just a cool little trick. All right. Another thing too here. I was thinking this. All right, can we get this fucking channel up to like 211? 211. I assume we're about like 170 subs right now. I should have done this in the goddamn beginning of the video because I don't know if anyone's still watching 15 minutes in. But if you are, let's get this motherfucker up to 211. I'll tell you what. Everyone's like, well, everyone does the even number. I'm like, fuck that, man. I don't want to do the even number. I want 211. We're 40 away. I'm coming up on about a year on this channel here in a couple months. I figured by June, I don't know, I'll figure out a date, but by June, if we make it to 211 by June, fucking, I'm gonna do a giveaway, man. I got some shit to give away. I'll a certain day, fucking have everyone chime in. Everybody message by a certain day. I'll fucking throw your names in the motherfucking hat here and pull it out, man. And so pull your name out of the motherfucking hat and figure out a way. We'll message me or one of them. We'll send the shit over. So, but I'm gonna one of these videos coming up soon. I'm gonna show you what the fuck I'm gonna give away. So stay tuned for that. So that'd be something fun. I would see people do this shit all the time, but I'm gonna see if it actually works or if it'll help the channel out more. Um, so what the fuck have I been listening to this week, man? I got some good jams here for you all. First up is some Australian shit, man. Now, Maddox, Deep Shadows. Oh, man, great dude. Fucking, he's always got some great recommendations. He's always, But one of his videos a while back ago, he mentioned that he went to his festival, Australia. I forgot what the fuck name was the festival. Anyways, a band that struck me that sounded interesting. I mean, he had the vinyl. Was this band called Haste? And I gotta give a shout out to those guys. They fucking really kick ass. Now I wasn't able to actually. They have a vinyl. It's available on Bandcamp. You can order it, but it's better if any of you guys are in Australia and you check this band out and you like them, you can order their vinyl. But like I'm over here in the States, it's like it would cost me fucking $80, and like man, I can't fucking afford that for a vinyl. So what I ended up doing was I went on their Bandcamp and I downloaded the album and I printed out my own fucking picture of it. But Haste, Voracious Bastion. Oh, now this is some fucking sick thrashing black metal. It's in the I'd say it's in the Destroyer 666 realm, Aurora Nora kind of stuff. But it's a lot of with the black and thrash, I find it seems to be too peppy for me, a little bit happy sounding, almost like party thrashy. A lot of bands do that fucking 80s party thrash in there with it, with the like the black metal, and almost like midnight type shit. I can't fucking stand a lot of that. I like it that if you're gonna do it for me, if you do it right, it's got to sound really evil. It's got to sound, dark. This is fucking mean as fuck sounding. It has a really, really like raw but yet tight edge to it. The vocals, honestly, I don't know if they were trying, but this is kind of cool take with the vocals. The vocals really make it, really like put the icing on the cake for this motherfucker. Remind me of Legion era Marduk, and I don't know if they were trying to go for that or if that's just how it just came out, but that's what it reminds me of. The vocals, fucking, I love it. They're really aggressive, and this shit. I've been blasting it in the car for the past couple weeks, and I just can't stop. It makes me want to fucking, raise my fist and fucking do the horns to the fucking devil, man, and fucking just headbang. I mean, this will make you want. There are some really great groovy fucking headbanging parts on it. I mean, this is the type of stuff that keeps this music alive, and what I love, something refreshing. Now, I guarantee, like, I hope to hear more from these guys. This is all they got, If you're in the States here, go. They're selling this for a fucking buck for a download on Bandcamp. Fucking go download a fucking dollar, man. Fucking, you can't buy shit for a fucking dollar. I end up just download, like, I give them like a buck for each song, which is fucking nothing, man. But I you know I hope if this becomes available in the States. It was on Hell's Headbangers, but fucking shit sells out like, I don't know. It's like Hell's Headbangers like flies on shit, man. Literally, like fucking. If you don't get it, if you don't know about it right then and there, it's fucking gone. I mean, son of a bitch. You got to think too. The brothers, when they get an order and there's a limited, you got to think they got first dibs on shit. So got to remember that too, man. I can't blame them for that. But yeah, first come, first serve. I'm always late to the game. Usually when there's something new out, I'm always like a year or two fucking late to it, man. It always seems to be so. Something that's 2 years old is new to me. Always, I was like, 2 years ago, that was nothing, man. That's still more. That's very relevant to me. Anyways, yeah, fucking Haste, man, from Australia. These guys are really doing something right, and I don't know if they keep it up, man. You could probably I could see these guys on a label like Hell's Headbangers easily. Um, but yeah, I don't really know much other about them. That they're fucking sick as fuck, man. Really aggressive. They do the black thrash stuff right, and makes you want to headbang for days. I really excited about this. I really enjoy it. So it hasn't left my stereo. And another thing I just got recently. Uh, Now I already had the cassette of this, but there's an Easter egg on all this shit, man. I got the Warhammer 666 fucking demo off of the Bandcamp. Now, if you guys haven't checked this out, you really need to. He puts out quality fucking black metal. He's got his own style on it. Another more fucking true Australian black metal right here, man. Uh, One thing I could say I really enjoy about a good example of creativity with this band is like you definitely hones in on his influences, but like uses those as a tool to fucking express himself and create. And that's what you should do with your music. You take your influences of the things you like, and you don't just try to only expand on, but it's a tool for your own creativity, and I love that. And to me, this is a take on like the old, fucking. I hear a lot of Bathory and fucking Dark Throne and Burzum, like, and that's just what I hear in it. But I love the expansion of it. There's definitely like a lot of soul and hate that goes into this, and it's very dark too. There, and this dude he knows how to fucking write riffs. The riffs that'll stick in your head for days and hooks and catchiness. And a lot of times black metal fucking lacks that. It's just a bunch of random shit and boring. This is not that, man. This is all. Each song is very different from it. There's a lot of fast. There's some songs on here that are really fast, and some more atmospheric. And one thing I like about this demo is the guitars. The guitars fucking they have well, actually his sound all in general. If you go back and listen to some of the other catalog, um, but anyways, the guitars sound like almost like an organ or like an orchestra, like really unique. They're very harmonized in their own way. I've never really heard. They're really usually black metal guitars are just fuzzy. These are just something totally unique and different. I really like the way they sound. Um, but yeah, he's got a fucking record coming out next month, from my understanding, and Fomorian's got some banners. So go check them out, man. Check out this. You can get, like I said, you can get this on Bandcamp, and also there's a demo tape of it. Now the demo tape has an intro, and this doesn't have an intro, but the demo tape has an intro. But on YouTube, this has an intro, but it's different from the. He throws a lot of. What I'm getting at, there's a lot of cool Easter eggs for each release, so that there's something different on the cassette than there is on this. It's just little things. But he says something really cool in this in the liner notes here. Not to bore you all to death, but if you're still here, no, this is what I really like. I respect and honor the true black metal spirit that began with Merciful Fate. See, he mentioned Merciful Fate, and that I love that. It began with Merciful Fate and took its rightful seat in hell with Venom and Bathory, shaped it into black altar we all worship today. Now, he knows what the fuck he's talking about, because I hate all these goddamn assholes saying Merciful Fate wasn't black metal. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're only familiar with the sound that came in the second wave, and they think that's it. The rest behind that, the first wave, they dismiss it. It's only what they think it is. Well, you know what? Merciful Fate was one of the first black metal bands I ever heard. The first time I ever heard the term black metal was Merciful Fate, and I was young. I didn't hear about the lore and all the bullshit that came with the second wave. I didn't hear any of that. I didn't know about it until years later. So what I'm saying is the draw in for me, listen with your ears, not your eyes, that type of shit. the drawing wasn't the lore and shit because I didn't have that. I didn't know about it. Now when I heard about it later, I was like, wow, this music's even more intense than it really is. And I was really impressed. By the I'm mesmerized by that whole the lore behind it. But I didn't really. That's not what the fuck I heard. And that now that's how a lot of people get into it. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying my take on it and why I can't stand people saying Fate's not a fucking black metal band or they didn't contribute. And when I first heard Merciful Fate, they were they told me the person that introduced me to them, or they gave me the it was actually a Dangerous Meeting, which so half of it were old Merciful Fate songs, the other half was the King Diamond songs. So I heard when I first heard it, I was like, wow, this is like a darker, fucking heavier, more intense version of Black Sabbath. Because at the time, I was a really big Black Sabbath fan. When I was first getting into underground metal, I didn't have. I only had really the old metal stuff to go off of that I loved, and Black Sabbath was one of my favorites. So, like to comparison, Merciful Fate was like a much evil, darker version of Black Sabbath, and that drew me in. I was like, wow, this is what black metal is. These haunting vocals, they had little keyboard interludes. King Diamond had some growls to his voice. The guitars were really dark. Listen to Come to the Sabbath. There was, fucking Doomed by the Living Dead. I mean, there's some really intense, heavy, dark shit in there. And then seeing the visuals, King Diamond with his, imagery, the face, the corpse paint that you see in black metal, like nobody ever mentions King Diamond but his image is lived on in the black metal. Well, just like perfect example. He had that whole like dark, satanic, pagan kind of imagery going on with this, a band in the background wearing, fucking leather and denim and spikes and shit. It was cool. So I really do. I like that Warhammer mentioned fucking Merciful Fate because they really were the when I heard other when I started listening to other black metal was with the vocals. I heard Samael, Ceremony of the Opposites. I know people dismiss that album, but it's really just like a heavier Celtic Frost if you look at it. But anyways, that was when I started hearing the raspier shit. But it had keyboards in it a little bit. It had heavy guitar. It had dark, scary, creepy like sounding vocals, but they were raspier. I still could hear the Merciful Fate atmosphere in that too. Most people probably can't, but it carried over. It really did. It's just not. It's older and more primitive, so it's gonna have a bit more of a classic heavy metal sound. But like I said, that's just kind of a ramble. But whatever. I don't know. Merciful Fate, old black metal, man. They have a huge importance, and also too. Now, another reason why I love Merciful Fate, because I heard Merciful Fate before I heard a lot of bands actually. They were one of the early extreme metal bands I heard. I actually was fortunate enough to go through the cycle kind of like step by step and listen to the music as it progressed, and being in the modern era, or early 2000s, so the music had already been around for a long time. So I was fortunate enough to hear the progression and be introduced to it as it went. If anybody knows what the fuck I'm talking about, anyways. But yeah, one other thing I want to say about not to stay on the subject of Merciful Fate. Why I think I liked Morbid Angel so much when I heard them was because I don't know if anyone could fucking pick this out, but Morbid Angel's like slower riffs, those groovier, darker, heavier riffs. Even in Rapture would be a good example of it. The breakdown riff in Rapture. If you listen to the Merciful Fate's breakdown, heavy riffs, Morbid Angel still to this day, like maybe that's why I like Morbid Angel so much, is their riffs, their breakdown heavy riffs remind me a lot of fucking Merciful Fate. And also, their fast riffs, and Covenant and stuff remind me of Slayer, just like a crazier Slayer. I think that's why I like Morbid Angel so much. It's like fucking, to me, it's like Merciful Fate riffs, all crazy, doomy like, evil, and then fucking really fast Slayer type riffs. But yeah. Anyways, fucking A, man. That's all I got for you guys, man. Fucking, if you made it this far, man, thank y'all. Fucking, stay tuned. Cheers.